Okay, welcome back to our August update on the Halvorsen build. This time we're down in the end shed having a look at the gloss paintwork or the preparation for the gloss. I wanted to start here because we had a few complaints last time that I might have overlooked the gloss finishing of the timberwork. As I mentioned in another earlier video, we set up several temporary spray booths because of the logistics of size of the vessel and what have you. It's a fairly common sort of thing to do. Being winter in Australia, it's damn cold. So what we've also done is we've got a space heater here, which is about a 15 kilowatt 3-phase unit. Puts out a lot of hot air. It's just on low at the moment. That feeds some hot air into our fans here, which then blow in through our manifold. We've got heaps of filtration on the other side of that, so we're getting nice, clean, warm air going into our spray booth. We're going to be setting up another one here, which will be dedicated for all of the final coats. So what we've got at the moment is all of the sealer and the filler going on in here. Then we'll have another one that we'll do with the final gloss coats. You can see here, so these panels here, which are door panels, they've had the isolator on them, or applied rather, then it's had been blocked back, then it's had the polyester sealer on it. This is the off the gun finish at the moment, so these ones are drying. So once they've had a couple of weeks to dry and go hard, this all gets blocked back again. It'll go sort of milky, all gets clean. Then it'll go into the spray booth that we're going to be putting here, and it'll get 4 coats of All Craft 3000 clear, which will really start to make the grain pop even more than it is. What I do love about this Australian Silky Oak is the 3D sort of hologram effect. So that's one of the drawer fronts that goes in the chest of drawers in the owner's stateroom, and you can see the grain really starts to come out, and we haven't even finished glossing that yet, but I think it's going to look incredible. That with the polished stainless steel and chrome fittings is going to look really, really special. We're now looking at the panel that is part of the bulkhead in the salon area. So we've showed you in earlier videos this panel in situ on the vessel. There's a cabinet that comes off here, which is going to have the fire extinguisher receptacle in it, and up this end here is where the ducting goes up behind here for the air conditioning vents, which are overhead. So the panels come down in the raw state. Then what happens is Ricky prepares these by putting a isolator coat on, and the isolator is a product that it seals the timber, stops the evaporation of moisture and air coming out through the fibres. It also is like a tie coat that helps bond the polyester, which goes on next, to the raw timber. Right, now I just showed you the board or panels with the isolator on it. We've showed you the polyester sealer over the top of that. This is how it comes down. So you would have remembered this from earlier videos. This is basically the furniture in its raw state from how the boys have constructed it. So you can see it looks good, but until you get the clear on it, it really, really starts to bring the grain out. So we just wanted to show you what it looks like again. So it goes from this process here to the next bench, gets the isolator, then it goes further into the spray booth again, and it gets the polyester sealer on it. Continuing on with our paint finishing theme, we're now back up at the big shed on the boat, obviously. What we're looking at here is the refinishing of the teak. So bear in mind, this is a 1975 build boat. All this teak is original, so we've sanded it back and cleaned it all up. We've got into the grain and really done a good job of getting all the colour and that back into the wood. There's been a few little repairs we've had to do here and there, but that's understandable. But overall, I think you'll find that the grain and the colour has really come up really, really well. And within probably the next week or so, we're going to be clear coating all of this. So we're going to be using the All Craft products, which will be the all wood. So we're going to use their all wood primer and their all wood top coats, which is outstanding performance on varnished teak outside in the UV. So, you know, if it ain't broken, don't touch it. So we're going to use the best product on the market, we feel, for all of this, because there's a lot of preparation involved in it. Another thing I want to mention while we're here, so the window, once all this has been all clear coated and finished, we can then start installing the windows, the glass. So what we've got coming is a Euro green laminated panel. They're about 12 millimeters wide or half an inch thick. The two panels glass together, so basically to laminate them. What it means then is, you know, you can pretty much throw anything at it. It's not going to shatter into a million pieces. I've done a lot of boat deliveries over the years, and it's pretty common to, it's happened always on the west coast here, to punch a window out on a long trip. And then you end up with shattered glass everywhere and water coming in the boat and stuff like that. So I wanted to go with the laminated panels. It's a lot safer, they're a lot tougher. We normally use them on the front of the windows, so basically all the wheelhouse, but we're going to go on the sides here as well because I think it's really important. When they get installed, we're going to end up with about a 5mm neoprene rubber gasket in here, then the glass gets glued on. So all you're going to see will be varnished teak. We put the rubber gasket in so that way down the track when you're doing maintenance on the boat, which is inevitable, you'll be able to sand all this and you're not going to sand up to the glass. There'll be actually 5 to 6 millimeters of gasket that allows you a little bit of leeway so you can sand all this and revarnish it and you're not going to scratch the glass. Here we are in the galley area, and what you can see at the moment is the ventilation ducts for the engine room and how it sort of relates to the galley now that we're starting to put it into place. We start with the kickers, making sure everything's all sealed and levelled, which it is, and then we can start to put the components in. As you remember from downstairs, you've got your dual sinks here. We've got the hot plate, the hot plates here, dishwasher on this side, and then spinning around our oven. There isn't anything on top of there because you're not allowed to have it on top of the oven. That is the the rubbish bin, and then we'll start to mock up all the internal overhead cupboards. And this area here is where the big 710 litre double door French door fridge is going to go. We've got to put a bit more of a bulkhead onto this side here, and this is going to be enclosed. So Scotty's going to do a really, really good job here. So when you're actually in the salon, which is behind you there at the moment, you don't want to see the fridge from the salon area because I tried to get everything to match. For those that know me, I'm very pedantic about that. And for some reason, you can buy all of the appliances in black now because black's the new white. You can't get a damn fridge in black. It's mahogany, silver, and pewter, no matter what brand you look at. So in order, we cover it over so you can't see it. This side here is going to have our breakfast bar. We haven't started on that yet, but we will get onto that. Here we are up in the bow of the vessel in the V-berth cabin. What you're looking at the moment is the porthole trim, and what we're going to do is we're just doing a couple of trials here because of the flare, the camber of the vessel, it's just an awkward shape. So we're going to look at having vinyl panels and then like a big round porthole window boxes where those two areas are. So it's probably the best way because it's an odd shape, as you can see with the design of the pattern there. It's not really parallel of anything. So we're going to do a couple of mock-ups first before we actually go into construction of what we can do and what's going to look right. Above on the deck head is going to be the satin finish eggshell white, which is the theme right through the vessel to have a satin finish. And it's going to be these planks. They look like clinker. So that's how the deck head arrangement's going to be. We've also put in the upper bunks now. So we've got the lower bunk with the upper bunk. I may or may not have mentioned, I can't recall, the height of these is a bit higher than standard, but the reason is we've got such a flare on the bow. If we went lower, we're going to have to pull this in further, which then we have issues with the doorway and things like that. So the height is where it has to be to give us the width. Again, me liking everything to match. This bed mattress here is identical to this one here, and same on the other side. So that way you're making one pattern for fitted sheets and quilt covers and, you know, all that type of thing too. Plus I like everything to match, as I've told you before. So that's how we are here. This is going to have Silky Oak high gloss finish. There'll be a fiddle here. We're going to have Silky Oak on the horizontal surface here, and then here we're going to do the clinker finish, the same profile as the deck head, but this is going to be in high gloss Silky Oak. So the theme we're carrying from aft accommodation is coming up to here, so we'll have a little bit of that in it as well. We're going to have the goat hides bolsters on the sides of the bed with a orthopedic custom-made mattresses on here as well. And then with that, we're going to have your usual GPOs, map reading lights, those type of things too. That's pretty much all I can sort of mention up in this space at the moment. Yeah, the boys are working. It's just lunch break. We come and do these videos because there's less noise and you can hear me. Well, the boys are all back at work, as you can tell by the noise. You can see Dave there is just preparing the teak still for varnish work, and it's just one of those intricate types of jobs where you're using little wire brushes, sanders and that to get right into the grain. Up on the flybridge there you can see Mark doing the panelling that fills in the Targa Arch, so you'll see a couple of holes in there. That's access, so we can run cables and do maintenance if required, and I'll have removable panels on them. I also mentioned about how we do a lot of mock-ups. Again, when you do a lot of custom work, you don't want to just go off and start building something if you're not sure if it's going to work or not. Case in point, with all of our bow area that you've already seen most of it done, we also mocked up the anchors. So these are the full-size scale of the anchors that we're going to be using on the vessel. So this will be a 60 kilo ultra anchor, and this will be a 45 kilo. So we're going to have them, they'll be sitting in the bow roller like that, and it allows us to drop one or both anchors at the same time, or not at the same time, but consecutively, without getting wrapped around each other. And in order to work out how we're going to design it all, we made up some full-scale replicas of what the anchors are going to look like. So, look, I hope you've enjoyed today's little update, and I'm sure we'll be back in another week or two with a hell of a lot more that's been going on.